Right, let's just jump straight into it. Today, we are strapping on our virtual boots and hitting the pitch to unlock the ultimate football icons. We're talking about those rare players whose footwork literally looks like it was programmed in a video game. So get ready, because we are counting down the absolutely greatest football dribblers of all time. You know, it's an undeniable fact. Clinical goal scoring wins matches, and rock-solid tactical defending? Yeah, that wins titles. But what wins hearts? What actually makes the beautiful game so, well, beautiful? It's the pure, wildly unpredictable, edge-of-your-seat art of dribbling. Those players who possess the skill, they're the ones who make us gasp, jump out of our seats, and just roar. I mean, just think about when commentator Victor Hugo Morales was watching one of the legendary dribbles we'll be discussing today. He literally screamed on air, "What planet are you from?" That's the exact energy we're dealing with today. We are looking at players who pulled off feats so mythic, so larger than life, they basically defied gravity, logic, and physics all at once. Okay, kicking things off with level 1, our flair and showboat legends. 999. Let that sink in for a second. That is the exact number of completed take-ons by the Belgian maestro himself, Eden Hazard, across his absolutely illustrious career. Standing at just 5'7", his agility and balance made him an absolute nightmare for defenders in both the Premier League and La Liga. Hitting 999 successful dribbles? I mean, that's literally like maxing out the Ultimate Player card in FC Mobile. But hey, Hazard definitely isn't the only one with signature moves. Let's rapid fire through some modern and classic icons. You've got Neymar, completely bringing street football to the biggest stages with those filthy rainbow flecks and nutmegs. Then there's El Fenomeno, Ronaldo Nazario, whose devastating stepovers literally paralyzed defenders, and honestly, goalkeepers too. We've also got Zinedine Zidane dictating the entire rhythm of the match with his iconic roulette, like a master conductor. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget Omar Sivori, El Gran Zurdo, whose left foot magic turned pure humiliation into high art. Which brings us to a guy who just embodied pure joy. Get this. Early in his career, one of Ronaldinho's coaches infamously told him, "You'll never in your life make it as a footballer playing like that." Talk about a bad take, right? Ronaldinho proved him entirely wrong. His pure improvisation, the elasticos, those cheeky no-look passes, he didn't just defy his critics, he brought pure magic to the pitch. He was basically football's answer to jazz. But listen, dribbling isn't just about pure aesthetic flair. It can be absolute, genuine tactical genius. Enter Johan Cruyff. He didn't dribble just to show off. He dribbled with immense intelligence. I mean, he's one of the very few players in the history of the sport to literally have a skill move named after him, the Cruyff turn. He famously unleashed this devastating tactical feint on Sweden's Jan Olsson back in 1974, completely outthinking and outmaneuvering his opponents on the run. So, dribbling is definitely tactical, but sometimes it really is just about pure, fearless audacity. And George Best, he was the absolute definition of swagger. Devastating with both feet, weaving and twisting defenders completely inside out. Actually, he famously nutmegged both Johan Cruyff and Johan Neeskens in a single game. Not because it was the best tactical move, but simply because he could. Moving right along to level 2, Wizard of the Dribble. We're kicking off this tier with the original, pioneering icon. The man Pelé himself said taught the world how football should be played. Sir Stanley Matthews. Listen to this timeline. He made his pro debut in 1932. Then, he dominated the 1953 FA Cup at age 38, dragging Blackpool from a 3-1 deficit to a 4-3 victory in what's forever known as the Matthews Final. He won the very first Ballon d'Or in 1956 and, incredibly, didn't hang up his boots until 1965, at age 50. 50! His longevity, fueled by strict discipline and famously carrot juice fasts, allowed his subtle body swerves and immense stamina to entertain literal generations of fans. All right, let's level up. Level 3, Maradona by the numbers. 53. Just hold that number in your head for a second. During the 1986 World Cup, Diego Maradona completed a staggering 53 successful dribbles. To really put that into perspective for you, Maradona's 53 solo dribbles in that 86 tournament matched the attacking output of the entire French national team at the 2022 World Cup. Think about that. It took an entire squad of modern, elite athletes to match the solo output of one man who quite literally carried Argentina to the trophy, all while being relentlessly fouled. And his dominance was never more obvious than against England. In that quarterfinal match alone, he attempted 14 dribbles and completed 12 of them, Whenever he picked up the ball and ran, the English defense simply had no answers. And of course, that culminated in the goal of the century, where he just glided past 4 defenders and the goalkeeper. It was this relentless, positive drive that, honestly, remains completely unmatched to this day. Which brings us to our boss level, crowning the Dribble King. First up in this final showdown, we have to look at Lionel Messi. Now, his dribbling technique isn't about flashy showboating, it is entirely ruthlessly surgical. It basically boils down to 3 things: an incredibly low center of gravity, sudden explosive bursts of speed, and devastating accuracy. He literally dances through tackles with the ball practically glued to his foot, making these impossible weaving runs look like a perfectly routine day at the office. And hey, if you think Messi is slowing down, consider this number: 128. That is the insane number of successful dribbles Messi recorded in the 2025-26 season playing for Inter Miami. Yeah, even in the twilight of his career and in a totally different league, his elite stats just endure. He's still out there weaving through tight spaces, proving his status at the absolute pinnacle of the game. But there can only be one number 1 on our explainer today. The man officially labeled the King of Dribble, the ultimate master of the art, Brazil's Garrincha. This is an incredible story. Garrincha was born into poverty with a severe physical deformity. He had bent legs that curved the same way, kind of like 2 right-hand brackets. But instead of letting it hold him back, this physical adversity actually became his greatest weapon. It gave him this wildly unpredictable rhythm and balance that made crowds roar and left world-class defenders completely dizzy and humiliated. I mean, he defied all logic to lead Brazil to 2 World Cup victories. For him, dribbling wasn't just a skill, it was a pure form of liberation. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. With the modern game becoming so incredibly structured, highly tactical, and intensely data-driven, will football ever produce another pure, instinctual dribbler like Garrincha or Maradona? Someone who just completely defies logic? Or have rigid tactics permanently replace the magic? Definitely something to think about next time you watch a match. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and as always, keep that curiosity alive.